So, I have this tote. Excuse me. I have this tote that holds all of my whips. Works in progress. I've just been adding to it for quite a while. So long that I have, calm down. Sorry, I have one of those, anyway. So long, in fact, that some of them, I feel like I'm missing pieces too. Also, that I have forgotten what I was doing with it. Some I'm just gonna scrap. I think this is just a piece I hadn't cut yet. So this can go back in the stash. This, we're just gonna start here because I know what this is. And I want to clear this bin out. I want to start using the things that I have in my stash. And so I can start new projects that I have planned. I feel like I need to clean everything out. I need to finish the things that I have started. I do believe I'm missing bands for this. I think, judging by the pieces I have, I've got a hood, 2 sleeves, a front and a back. This is a hoodie, it looks like, for my son. Whether it will still fit him or not, I don't know, because this was cut out probably a year ago. I am missing bands for sure for the sleeves and the bottom of this. I can't remember what pattern it is. Although that's the one I'm thinking of, I'm missing more than that. Maybe I never finished cutting it out. This looks to me like it is the Be Creative hoodie from Ellie and Mac. It looks like it. So I'm going to, I do have some black French terry. Maybe that was my plan all along, I don't know. I have some black pieces down here, but I do think they go to a different pattern. So I'm going to find that pattern, probably have to print it again. And then get going on this one. I want to see how many of these that I can get done. I believe there's also another bin that has some more in there. So let's just see what we can get done today. Okay, I cut out the pieces I was missing. I do think that I was correct in my assumption of what this pattern is. I hope so, because I have printed out the Ellie and Mac Be Creative hoodie, the pieces that I believe I'm missing. Now, if I'm right in assuming when I cut this out last year, this is not gonna fit him, but that's okay. We're gonna finish it anyway, and it will find its way to a good home. So I'm gonna put this, well, these two don't need to be put together. I'm gonna put together the couple that needs to be put together. I'm gonna cut it out. I've got the black French terry for these pieces. It's really the closest thing I had. I think that's what I planned on using anyway, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna do this, and then I'll meet you at the sewing machine. All right, everything's cut out. First thing I'm gonna do, sew all of the bands together. I'm gonna try and show you guys. I don't know how good of an angle I can get, but we're gonna try. Okay, next step with this pattern is to attach the tops of the front and back to the bottoms. So it'll be like two-tone. It's cute. Next thing I'm gonna do is iron these seams flat and probably put a top stitch in. While I am waiting on my iron to heat up, I'm going to get this pretty green into my sewing machine so that I can do the top stitching. Okay. Now that that's done, I've ironed the seam down, so I'm going to top stitch right here, and that will hold that seam down, make it more comfortable to wear if the kiddo is sensitive. My son is not, but since this is likely not going to fit him, and it'll just look nice as well. I'll try to get you as close as I can. The setup here it's not really nice for filming, but we'll try it. Okay, for top stitching, I'm just going to choose my favorite stitch, lengthen it, how that looks. I'm going to do the same thing to the other one. Stitching is done. Now we're going to match up the shoulder seams. Keep dropping things today. And sew those together. Next step is to attach our sleeves. I don't really have a good way of showing you guys those. We'll try it. So, that's what we have. This is where your arm hole is, where your shoulder seam is going to match up with your sleeve. So, you're gonna match this center up with your shoulder seam, pin it together, sew that, and then we'll do it to the other side. So we're gonna take it like this. I have mine creased. You could mark it with a pin or whatever. I'm gonna match that crease to the shoulder seam. Put a pin in that. I use clips. Take the ends, pin those together. Now, when you sew, you're gonna have to slightly curve. This doesn't have too much ease in it. This is a pretty loose pattern. Sometimes you might have to stretch one or the other a little bit. This one should fit pretty good. And it does, so I'm guessing I guessed correctly on this size. Looks like this is gonna be a size 5 when it's done. So I'm gonna attach this and do it to the other side. And I'm using my serger, but you could just as easily use a stretch stitch on a regular machine. I did that for years before I bought a serger. gonna make sure that your edges are lined up. You do not want to have to go back if you miss a piece. There'll be a hole. And then your arm is attached. Show you. And your arm is attached. Now I could go back if I wanted to and do some more top stitching. I don't think I'm gonna do that around the armholes. I have before. It looks really cute. I'm not as worried about it. This seam can be uncomfortable, which is why I recommend top stitching that one down, but the arms usually don't bother anyone. So I'm gonna do the other one and then we'll come back to finish up. Okay, now at this point you have a couple options. You can get started on the hood. You can attach the hood because you've got this piece finished and together, or you can sew up the side seams. I'm gonna sew up the side seams first. There's no reason, this is just what I feel like today. There's been plenty of times where I finish the hood first. So we're just going to match up our seams. So the black side to the black side, the arm is matching up. And we're gonna sew all the way down, all the way to the bottom on both sides. Okay, so at this point, this is what you've got. It's all sewed together. I think I am gonna go ahead for the hood at this point. So I'm choosing to do an unlined hood. This pattern, you can line it or not. I'm not going to. So when you hold the hood up, you can see like this is clearly the opening. I'm gonna put it right sides together. And I'm gonna serge around this outside. Now, with not lining this, I am going to have to finish this edge because I don't want a raw edge. So I am gonna do that over here. Because of that, I'm just going to serge this, basically to lock in this stitch, and then fold it over one time and do a top stitch. You could also just fold it under once, fold it under again. I'm not gonna do that. So I'm gonna take this over, I'm gonna flip this like this, and I'm gonna top stitch right here. So now I've got my hood all ready to be attached. So I'm going to take the bottom here, the base. Obviously your seam is going to be your middle. I'm gonna go over here to your top. Find your back. I don't know if you can see that. This is the front because it drops down lower. Take your side seams, match them up. It's called quartering. And now you know where your center back is. You can mark it, snip it, put a pin in it. I'm just gonna mark it right here. I'm gonna do the same thing to the front, so you know where the center front is. Although I think technically on this pattern, the overlap is supposed to be to the side. Although that might just be on the shawl collar. I don't remember. It's been a minute since I've made this pattern. Make sure when you attach it, you're attaching it to the back. You don't want your hood to be on backwards. So, right sides to right sides. We're gonna pin it all together. Now in this, you're not supposed to have to stretch this. It should fit perfect. So we're not going to stretch. Just make sure it goes all the way around. The front will overlap just a little bit. Over here. Oh, yeah, I do. And whichever side you want to overlap is up to you. Where you want it to overlap, also up to you. I'm gonna keep it in the center just because that's how I prefer it. Just make sure that your ends are pulled up so that you don't miss them when you go around. So it's all matched up. I am going to clip here for the end and here for the other end. So it shouldn't be stretched, it should fit perfect, and then we're just gonna serge around there. So our hood's attached. You're gonna pull it out, check around, make sure you didn't miss anywhere. This looks good. So I'm gonna move on to my bands. Sleeve bands. So you should have this after sewing them together on the long side. We are going to flip them half inside out. So you're gonna double up, match up the seams, match up the ends, and then you've got your little cuff. And same thing we did with the hood. You just take the ends. We're going to match up the seam with the seam on the arms or the sleeve. And you will have to stretch. I'm sorry if you can hear my husband screaming at his game. Anyway, you will have to stretch the band to fit the arm. It shouldn't be a whole lot, but it should be a little bit to give that like snug fit. Again, you're just gonna quarter it. I usually just do 2 with child size. If you're gonna do it, if you have a bigger one, probably go ahead and quarter it like an adult size. I don't. Do as I say, not as I do, especially if you're a beginner. And then you're just gonna serge around here to attach. And then your sleeve's attached. Again, you just go around, make sure you didn't miss anything, make sure it's all lined up and there's no holes, and then do it again to the other side. Okay, so I've quartered the bottom, same way. Stuck my cute little tag in there, and we're gonna attach it and we'll be done. You will have to stretch the bottom band again, just like the sleeve band. Make sure you're getting all 3 layers, and if you're adding a tag like me, that it's getting caught in the stitch. Okay, let's flip it inside out, do a reveal. I may have my son try it on, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be too small. Flip our band out. Here's my little tag. Lydia B, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, no holes, no missed spots. And here, let me stand up so you can see. Here it is. It is so cute. Got the top stitching there and around the hood. This is so cute. So, update, it does fit him. It's not too small. Super cute. We like. Thumbs up. No, you don't like it?
I do.
Thumbs up.
I love it.
Thumbs up. There you go. Well, as you guys saw, I have a whole bunch more projects that I need to get done before I can start going through my stash and making fun new stuff. I let last year kind of steal some of the things that make me happy, and sewing is one of those things. I think I turned my machines on maybe 2 times last year, and it was for like necessity things. So I really want to get back to doing something for me. I had to start working again for the first time in a long time, and so that was a huge change for me and my family. And now that I've gotten used to like the workflow, and you know, the dishes may pile up in the sink, and it is just what it is. We have a 6-family household, and both of us are gonna have to work for the foreseeable future. So, but this brings me so much happiness, and I don't want to give that up. So I'm gonna make it a point to make time to do this, and I'm hoping that by making videos, taking you guys along on this journey with me, finding other like minds, other women who I know have the same issues, the same problems, that you kind of put whatever it is that makes you happy to decide to take care of your family. It is what it is, it's what we do, and it's so wonderful and fulfilling, but also it's easy to get burned out. And I think it's really important for us to find that thing that makes us feel sane. And sewing is definitely mine. So I want to start posting more about that. And I don't know, I hope that there's people that are interested enough to watch and follow along. But yeah, this was today's, and hopefully I can do one thing a day or a few things a week. I don't know what my schedule is going to look like, but I want to start doing it, and I would love to start teaching you guys how to sew along the way. So if you have any questions for tutorials or patterns that you want to see or anything like that, just let me know, and I would be so happy to take you guys along on this journey with me. Love you. God loves you. Have a good day.